Listen to me clearly because the landscape of the Minnesota Vikings is shifting beneath our feet right now. We are talking about a franchise at a massive crossroads, a moment where every single decision determines whether we climb the mountain or fall into the abyss of mediocrity. The reports I am seeing behind the scenes suggest a seismic change is coming to the Twin Cities. From the quarterback room to the defensive secondary, the front office is playing a high-stakes game of chess that will redefine what this organization looks like for the next decade.
The news coming out of the league offices today is nothing short of a thunderbolt for the Minnesota Vikings and their long-term strategy at the most important position in all of professional sports. My sources are telling me that the path has officially cleared for our team to make a massive run at the premier quarterback talent set to hit the open market in the 2026 free agency cycle. Now, let us be honest here. The sheer magnitude of this report cannot be overstated because it changes the entire timeline for Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. When you look at the landscape of the league, you see contracts shifting and salary caps expanding in ways that specifically benefit a team with the Vikings' current financial flexibility. This is about more than just a name on a jersey. This is about the realization that the elite, franchise-altering talent we have been craving could be wearing purple and gold in the very near future. But let me tell you something. This news does not just bring hope. It brings an immense, suffocating amount of pressure onto the current roster. If you are in that locker room right now, you have to know that the clock is ticking louder than ever before. The front office is not just looking at next Sunday, they are looking at the 2026 horizon with a predatory gaze. It creates a dynamic where every throw, every decision, and every win or loss is being measured against the potential of a superstar arrival. I'm talking about a situation where the status quo is no longer acceptable. You either prove you are the long-term solution right now, or you are simply keeping the seat warm for a megastar. The league is watching how Minnesota handles this newfound leverage. The implications for the current depth chart are staggering because it suggests that the commitment to the current path might be more fragile than anyone previously believed. We are seeing a shift in philosophy where the pursuit of greatness outweighs the comfort of continuity. It's a cold, hard business, and the Vikings are showing they are willing to play the long game to secure a championship-caliber signal caller. This report indicates that the dominoes are falling in such a way that Minnesota will have the cap space and the allure to attract the biggest fish in the pond. But as we look at these future plans for the quarterback position, we cannot ignore the immediate holes that are opening up on the rest of the roster. The front office is looking at 2026, but they also have to survive the draft cycles between now and then. This leads us to a critical question. How do you build a championship infrastructure when your most legendary veterans are finally reaching the end of the line? The blueprint for the future is being drawn, but the foundation is starting to crack in areas we never expected. Wait until you hear the latest roster projections.
If you want to keep getting exclusive insights and breaking news like this before anyone else, you need to subscribe to the channel right now. Join the inner circle and never miss a beat. The reality of the NFL is that time waits for no man, not even the legends who have defined a franchise for a generation. We are looking at a brand new 3-round mock draft that has sent shockwaves through the Vikings facility because it addresses the two most painful departures we could imagine. This projection is not just a list of names. It is a tactical strike aimed at replacing the heart and soul of our defense and the engine of our backfield. We are talking about the inevitable transition away from Harrison Smith and Aaron Jones. Let that sink in for a moment. Harrison Smith has been the eraser, the hitman, the guy who made everything work in the secondary for over a decade. But this mock draft suggests the Vikings are ready to use a premium high-round pick on a dynamic, rangy safety who can step into those massive shoes. This is a cold-blooded move, but it is a necessary one if this defense wants to evolve under Brian Flores. You cannot replace the IQ of a Hall of Famer, but you can certainly try to replace the athleticism and the playmaking ability. Then we turn our attention to the offensive side of the ball, where Aaron Jones has been a spark plug. The mock draft indicates a heavy investment in an explosive, high-ceiling running back in the early rounds. It is an admission that the window for a veteran back is closing, and the need for a younger, cheaper, and more durable option is paramount. When I look at these projections, I see a front office that is tired of patching holes with Band-Aids. They are looking for permanent solutions. They are looking for the next generation of stars to lead this team into the new era of NFC North football.
But let me tell you, the pressure on these incoming rookies would be astronomical. You are not just asking them to play football, you are asking them to replace icons. That is a heavy burden for any young man to carry. The strategic connection here is obvious. You cannot afford to wait until these veterans are gone to find their successors. You have to be proactive. You have to be aggressive. This mock draft shows a Vikings team that is willing to move on from the past to secure the future. It shows a commitment to getting younger and faster at positions that demand elite physical traits. But as we talk about these young pieces coming in to fill the gaps left by legends, we have to ask ourselves, who is going to lead them? Who is going to provide the veteran stability in the most important room in the building while these young stars find their way? The draft can give you talent, but it cannot always give you the wisdom required to win in this league. There is a specific name circulating in the trade market that solves this exact problem right now. Listen.
This is where the plot thickens and the urgency reaches a fever pitch, because Adam Schefter is reporting that the Carolina Panthers are taking calls on veteran quarterback Andy Dalton. And make no mistake about it, the Minnesota Vikings are right at the top of that list of potential destinations. This is a move that makes too much sense to ignore. When you look at the coaching staff in Minnesota, the connections to Dalton are deep and documented. They know exactly what he brings to the table. We are talking about the Red Rifle, a man with over 160 career starts, a man who has seen every coverage and every blitz the NFL can throw at you. Jay McCarthy. The domino effect of the previous stories leads us directly to this moment. If you are going to hunt for a megastar in 2026 and draft young replacements for your legends today, you absolutely must have a veteran presence in that quarterback room to mentor the kid. Jay McCarthy is the prize, he is the investment, and you cannot leave his growth to chance. Bringing in a guy like Andy Dalton is like buying an insurance policy for your franchise's future. He is the ultimate professional who can teach McCarthy how to prepare, how to read a defense, and how to handle the rigors of being an NFL starter. The emotional intensity of this situation is through the roof because it shows that the Vikings are finally being honest about where they are. They are not just hoping for the best, they are constructing a support system. Imagine the impact of having a veteran like Dalton in the ear of McCarthy during a tight divisional game. That's the kind of value you cannot measure purely in stats. It is about the culture of the room. It is about ensuring that the next great Vikings quarterback has every tool available to him to succeed. The combination of these three stories paints a picture of a team that is being incredibly calculated. They are looking at the 2026 market, they are drafting the next generation of stars, and they are seeking the perfect veteran mentor to bridge the gap. It is a masterclass in roster management, but it also carries the risk of moving too fast. The question now is whether these pieces will fit together in time to save the season and the future. If the Vikings pull the trigger on a trade for Dalton, it signals that the era of experimentation is over and the era of structured growth has officially begun. But is a veteran mentor enough to keep this ship steady while the rest of the roster undergoes a massive transformation? We are witnessing a total rebirth of the Minnesota football identity, and nobody is safe from this change.
This is a defining moment for the Minnesota Vikings, a period of transition that will be remembered as the turning point for this franchise. We are seeing a bold strategy that balances future aspirations with immediate tactical needs. The front office is making moves that require guts, vision, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Whether it is eyeing the 2026 market, drafting the next generation of icons, or bringing in a veteran like Andy Dalton, the goal is clear: a championship. Now, I want to hear from you, the heart of this community. Jay McCarthy, or should we look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We are in this together, and your voice matters. Let us keep the conversation going. Skol Vikings!